Hello, fourth graders. Welcome to math. And we are in lesson 11 now in unit 7. And we're going to be working with decimals that are greater than 1. Up to this point, your numbers have been all between 0 and 1 whole with decimals. And now we're going to figure out how to turn those mixed fractions that we used to work with into a decimal value. And so you're going to need a pencil, scratch paper, and math journal pages 369 and 370. And this lesson today will be pretty quick, so if you need to come back and re-listen to anything, make sure you do that. All right, so on page 369, we have a chart here. And this is our place value chart. And we just want to talk a little bit about this keyword symmetry. It says discuss symmetries and relationships you see in the place value chart. And what symmetry is if I were to put this line right in the middle here, you would be able to fold this left side over the right side and they would completely match each other. Look, if we took this 100 and folded it over onto this peach colored side, your numbers would even match up other than the decimal, right? And your fractions are flipped. That's the pattern. Those are that base 10 system that I've talked about, right? As we move to the left, each one multiplies by 10, right? We know our next place value is 1,000. 10 times 100 is 1,000. Well, that same thing is happening as you go to the right, except that's not multiplying, it's dividing. So your pattern is we went from 1, we divided it by 10th, and that calls it 1/10. Well, we divide that into 10, separate each of those into 10 smaller pieces. Now we have 100 of them in our whole. And so that's why we name it hundredths. And you could probably guess our next place value, tenths, hundredths, is going to be thousandths. The pattern continues to the right just like it would to the left. But the key is how we name them. Look at that red ending. Okay, so that signals that it is a decimal value, something less than 1 whole, that THS ending. Every single decimal value has that ending labeled to it, right? So it's not 100, it's hundredths, that THS. Okay, if you look at these two rows, neither of them are necessarily mistakes, but a lot of people like to always put a 0 in your whole number, your ones place, if there is no value there. So this is 0.5 is still 5/10, and 0 and 5/10 are the same thing. Some people just like to look at it that way. They feel it balances it, and you can see place value a lot easier. All right, this is the chart that we're going to be using today. You're not going to have to cut out your secret code cards and place those in here, but I'm going to refer to this chart and it's going to be available to you when you're working in your workbook page as well, just so we can keep our place value correct and specifically remember the names of each one, the tenths and hundredths, right? And look at that ending. Make sure you include that when you are writing them today. Okay, so we're going to be naming numbers, right? And we want to be able to name them as fractions and decimals. And I want you to think about what you notice if there is a difference between how we name fractions and decimals. So we would call this 23 and. Every time we see a decimal, we name it and. So 23 and 5/10. So really what that means is we have 2 tens, right? 3 ones, and 5/10. So what we're going to do later then is break these apart and do we're going to talk about what each place value is actually worth. Okay. And so I want to get some practice with you being able to name these numbers. And so one good way to do that is to actually name them in two parts, right? And to break it up by where its decimal place is. We know that always signals and, but that's also a break in kind of how we name the number. And so one simple way we could do that is just cover up our tenths and our hundredths for right now. You know this number is 87, so it's 87 and 45, and it ends in the hundredths place, so we name it hundredths. Well, we can do that with this number too. 258 and our 2 ends in the tenths place, so we call it 2/10. So 258 and 2/10. One last time, 109 and 17 ends in the hundredths, so it's hundredths. Okay? Whatever place value it ends in, that's what you give that name to. Okay? And we say the beginning half of the number just like we have since we were kindergartners, right? Since you could start to count. Okay, so now expanded form, like I talked about before. We've done this earlier in the year. You break out each place value and talk about and tell what it's worth. So 428 is worth 400 plus the 2 in the tens means you have 20. And then the 8. So each place value is given its own value. We can do that with decimals too. So if we have 428 still and 31 hundredths, I write 400 plus 20 plus 8 in the same way, but I got to add each of my tenths and each of my hundredths. So I have 3 tenths, and be careful, make sure that 1 is in the hundredths place. Okay? So I want you to try that on your scratch paper right now. Try and break apart 37 and 56 hundredths. Pause the video now and try and write that out. You're going to have 4 different values that you're adding up. Pause it now. All right, let's see what you got. 30 plus your 7. That 5 is worth 5 tenths, and the 6 is hundredths. Do you have the zeros that you need? If you don't have the 0 in the ones place, that doesn't make it wrong, but you do need the 0 in the tenths place. Let's try that one more time before we start working. This one's a little trickier. 30 and 3, think about what place value that's in. Tenths, hundredths. So 30 and 3 tenths. Pause it now, see if you can write it. Okay, you don't need all those zeros. If you had them, it's okay, but you don't necessarily need them. So you still have 30. I have 0 in my 1, so I didn't put a 0. I have 0 in my tenths. I didn't put a 0 for that either. But I do need my 3 hundredths. And look at the 0 that I have here in the tenths place to hold that place value. You do need that there. Otherwise, you have 30 and 3 tenths. Okay, let's try and get some practice now. So turn to page, what is this one? 370. And I want you, we'll go through and do the first one for each one. It says read and write each mixed number as a decimal. So you're just converting this mixed number to a decimal. So let's read this fraction. It's 3 and 1/10. Well, that and even tells me where to put the decimal. So I have 3 whole and, so my decimal, 1 in the tenths place. So 3.1, 3 and 1/10. Well, this one you can do, oh, I was going to mention, be careful with this one. See if you can get this one correct. 5 and 7 hundredths. I feel like some of you are going to put 5 and 7 tenths. Try not to do that. All right, 12 and 8 tenths. All right, so that 12 tells me I need 1 in the tens and a 2 in the ones. So 12, like I always write 12, decimal point. It says and, so I have 8, and it's in the tenths place. So 12 and my fraction is 8 tenths. Be careful with 8, right? Think about what that number really is. What place value is that 5 in? Okay, and now we're going from word form. You don't have to write the word form, but you got to be able to write it and rename it as a decimal. So 61 hundredths. Oh, I don't have a whole number. There's no and, so it's 0 and 61 hundredths. So I would write 0. My decimal is and 61 hundredths. Well, it says hundredths, so my last number needs to be in the hundredths. 6 is in the tenths. The 1 is in the hundredths. So try these. 6 and. So anytime you see the and, that's your decimal. 14 hundredths, 70 and 8 tenths, 55 and 6 hundredths. Okay. Now we write each decimal in expanded form. Okay, that's what we were just doing on the last slide. So if you need to rewind a little bit, go ahead and watch it again. Okay, that's kind of the only new thing today. So we have 8. So I have 8 whole plus my 2 in the tenths place. 2 in the tenths place. Here you go. And then the last thing you're going to be doing is the word problems today. So there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. A snake crawls 3 meters and 12 more meters. That decimal represents the number of meters in the snake crawl, or what decimal represents the number of meters the snake crawls. So it's going to be 3 meters and something. Okay, think about what this fraction is going to look like, or what this decimal is going to look like. 12 out of 100. And the same thing with the pennies, out of 100 again. So that's telling you you're going to go to the hundredths place. There are 100 pennies in $1. A jar contains $20. You add 8 pennies to that jar. What decimal represents the number of dollars in the jar? Be careful with this one. See if you can get that one right. Okay? Well, let's go ahead and pause the video here. And you can use this chart if you need to. Okay? This chart might help you remembering where tenths are and hundredths are. Pause it, and then we'll go through the next page. Okay, let's see how you did. I talked about 4 and 8 maybe tricking you. It's 5 and 7 hundredths. Did you do 7 tenths, or did you put that 0 there to make sure it held your place value? And then the same thing, did you call this 3 and 5 tenths, or did you write it as hundredths because there's a 0 in that tenths place? Okay, and then the others I wanted to look at, make sure, notice they don't have the 0 here. It's not 2 plus 0 0.0 plus 0.09. You don't need it when there's 0 in the place value, just like you didn't have anything for the tens in 17. If you had it and included a 0 there, though, you're okay. It's still right. Okay, so the word problems is going to be 3 and 12 hundredths. This tells me it's out of 100. And then 20 and 8 hundredths. Did you do that correctly? Or did you say $20.80? Right? That's a big difference. Okay. Now your job is going to be to go into homework 7.11 and Think Central. And then you also have some IXL practice that you can do. All right. If you have any questions at all, let your teacher know. Let's have a great day today.